Hello, 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 hello. Okay.
Hmm.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Okay.
So, what is the
The
main
main advantage,
advantage of
wait, wait.
Qt?
The main advantage
Mm,
of QTP is QTP can handle
uh,
the desktop application and web-based application, whereas Selenium can
oh,
only handle the web-based application.
oh,
So, so most of the
okay.
people, most of the bank, especially on banking domain, if we are
Uh,
concerned about the applications
mm,
of web-based, then the banking
mm,
domain applications prefer for QTP because it
mm,
requires some security type of things. As QTP can handle
mm,
all the security testing, load testing, functional testing, everything in one.
mm.
They prefer to go with QTP.
Okay,
Whereas in Selenium,
okay. Mm,
Selenium can only support the web-based application, that too on
mm.
functional testing. So if the
Oh,
requirement is not like that,
mm,
we need to do all testing in one tool with the help of one tool. Then most of the people prefer for security
mm.
Selenium as it's free to. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay. Mm,
Okay, now I would
mm,
like to start with a very basic introduction. Actually, the manual testing
mm,
course itself is introduction course. Until the manual testing course is covered,
mm,
it is not necessary for you to
mm,
practice. Just you can you can listen the classes one more time and you can buy hard it. It's very important for cracking the interview. Most of the
mm.
questions can be covered in this manual part. If you are going with manual experience, is it fine?
Yeah, now it's fine. Yeah, tell me.
Okay, so the first thing is organizational structure. I think you are okay. I think you know about the organizational structure, but even though I'm recalling this concept one more time. So in any
Mm,
organization, especially for our IT
mm,
organization, there is one CEO
mm,
and there is vice
mm,
president and there are directors.
mm,
There are many vice
mm,
presidents and there are directors. And director is
mm,
the first responsible person. He
mm,
takes the responsibility of vice president. Example,
mm,
if there are many big companies like
mm,
Capgemini, Accenture,
mm,
Infosys, IBM, all these big
mm,
companies are there. They get the projects from all over the world. Then,
mm,
uh, who then the vice presidents in these big organizations will split their
mm,
roles into different directors, and all
mm,
directors is going to handle one region and he is
mm,
responsible for that regions. Means
mm.
actually speaking, the project can be get with the help of sales team.
Mm.
Are you catching?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listening.
Yeah, sales team is the responsible
Mm,
person to get the project.
mm,
So actually, sales team goes and interact with the clients. Sales team is the person who identifies the client. Is there any client who is requesting, who are looking for the project? Then sales
mm,
team go and approach them, and he will explain
mm,
about their organization, which
mm,
organization they came from. He will explain about their organization, and he will
mm,
get an appointment from the client, and he
mm,
comes back to our organization and he says to the director that okay, I got appointment from the client, please go ahead and
mm.
explain about our organization. The director
Okay.
collects all the information from the sales team and he
Mm,
says that okay, what type of client he is, what type of
mm,
projects which we can prepare, which we can show as it show at show to he show to him or show to her as a POC. POC is what proof of concept means. We'll call it in technical term. We'll call it as POC. In general term, we'll call it as demo. So
Oh, okay.
most of the
POC is what's the expansion of POC?
proof of concept.
Proof of concept, that is called demo. Okay,
Yeah.
they have to give a demo of their project.
Yes.
How it should look. Okay.
How it should look. So technically, going forward in our IT organization, most of the people used to call it as POC. There we won't use the term as demo. Okay, demo is a general term and POC is a technical term. The two specially.
Technical word is POC means it's nothing but the demo of the project.
Yes.
We have to give a demo of the. Okay.
Then the director will take care of what type of client he is. Then he will see is there any other project which is already implemented in their organization which is similar to that project, which is similar to that requirement. Then he gathers all the information. Then he goes and meet to the client, and in the client he will explain about all his organization, all his maintenance, means number of workers working, how many projects he done with the similar type of requirement, and is there any other requirement which is covered apart from this, how much time it took, and what are the deliverables. He will explain about all his positives to the client. And so that he can gain the trust of the client, and he will also get some more permissions from the client that to show his demo, means to show to go ahead and show what and all he done which is similar to his project. Then there also he will confirm that what type of project what type of requirement he is looking for. Is it related to banking side? Is it related to automobile side? He will acquire all the knowledge from the client, and then he comes back to the organization with the help of with the help of project. There are project managers. He will conduct all together project manager meeting, and with the help of project manager and Scrum team members, all over the team members, he will assign this type of we have a requirement. That requirement based on this type of project. Is there any other project which is done in our organization? Then the stakeholders, project managers, whomever is there in the team, they all come together, and they will send their report to the higher authority, means this director, that okay, we have till now we have done this type of projects, these many resources we put on this, these many technologies we used, this is the back end, this is the front end we used, and this is the supporting team. They will give all information to the director. And here the director sends the same information to the business analyst. Then the business analyst is the concerned person who will take care of all these information, and he again goes to the client, and he will explain about his requirement. Okay, this is what your requirement, and this is what we done in the past, and this is what we can do, and upcoming futures, means upcoming requirements is also based on this type of requirements. He will gather all his requirements, then he will go and meet to the client. Then the client, if client is impressed with our words, then he will give requirement to us. That requirement, then the client gives requirement in a very high level way. Whatever the requirement which he is giving, he will capture in a rough in a rough way, and he will come back to our organization, and he will segregate all his requirements in a documented way, and shares to the he shares to the financial team, and financial team will see all his requirements, and he sends to the HR department, and he gives financial team gives his estimation, rough estimation, and he sends to the financial team sends to the HR department. HR department have a look on all his requirements, and HR department send for the approval to the CEO. CEO verifies it, and again CEO send a requirement to the HR department. HR department shares the same requirement to all over the team. financial, HR, HR team sends the report to financial team and the teams all over the teams, whomever is there under his control. Then the associated BA will get the mail from the HR team. Then associated BA will take care of that, and he will go and meet to the client. He will share. He will give his rough estimation. So based on this rough estimation, based on our previous experience, this is what the cost which we are looking, which we are expecting from our organization to deliver this type of requirements to you. Then client, if client feels okay, then he will give in detail. He will schedule one meeting, and he will ask BA to conduct one meeting. I want to meet with the team members. I want to explain about my project. Then BA gets the subject whatever. If he is ready to give the requirements, also he will capture the requirements and he will pass the same opinion to all our team members, to the managers, and managers pass the information to the team members. There, all the team members will segregate, will gather each other, will combine together, and then there we are ready to listen the demo, listen the requirements from the client. Actually, here from here the process of SDLC starts. Up to here, the requirement
Just one small question here. What is the minimum cost of the project that you will start accepting? Because project means you will get at any amount. What is the cost factor? What is the minimum amount so that you will accept the projects from that level? What is that? What will be that in big companies?
There is no minimum level of acceptance of the project. Project may be any type. It depends on the requirement. Example, if the customer requests only I need one form, that form should have 4 fields and one login button. Whatever is there, that should be saved in database and that should reflect in the another user. Example, you have registered in Urban Pro, right? So Urban Pro is very limited functionalities. It is having few tabs, and we need to enter our username password that will be registered in database. I also registered my username password, my entire fields that also registered in database. So your details is reflected to me and my details is reflected to you. So with mail and SMS, and this is very small functionality. So as the experienced person, there are a lot of IT industries. It doesn't take 1 month to complete all these requirements. So if the user is requested, I need very soon, then they can deliver very soon also. So it depends on requirement, and there are many other requirements that it takes a lot of time, plenty of time, even years together they need to work. Example, T project.
It's not that you accept only you accept. It's not that you accept only big projects. You even accept a project which can be done even for a single day or
hour also.
And how they approach it.
That's what sales team identifies who is a customer and what type of requirement he needs. Then when the sales team,
so what is the protocol they use? They will go to the they will advertise them in the papers, or how they get to know that some people need projects, because they have to meet them. They should ask them how they advertise it.
Yeah, they will do in all the ways. As there are sales team, they will have their own ways how to promote themselves. So in every organization, we can see the sales team. And they may
so because I asked now, if you are going projects, if you are doing individual projects, means how we will approach. So that just to get that information, I asked you.
Actually, yeah, good. But this is not our role. Our role comes under SDLC process. This is very high level management. Just to have the idea, I given you this information. And from here, Okay. So after
actually, you told me that even the small things will be informed to the CEO. All the project information will be given to the CEO. Is it important for him?
Not only the CEO. If we consider about the small organization, then CEO is the head, because he's considered that he's having only one office. one small office, like one small consultancy, then CEO or board of director, whoever is responsible for that, he comes to know everything. But if there are very big organizations like IBM, Infosys, Capgemini, they are having multiple accounts and multiple ways,
Yeah, that's
MNCs.
what I asked.
Yeah, then it is not necessary. Then whomever is there in the particular region head, that will take care of the particular projects,
Mm.
and he will make sure that whatever the projects which he is
Okay,
coming
okay.
should be delivered. I mean, so if he will make sure that there should not be
Mm.
remark from the customers again. He should trust us and he should give some more requirements. He will take care of that responsibility.
Mm. Okay, now you can continue this SDLC. You
Yeah.
told you were now our job starts from SDLC, right?
Yes.
Okay. Mm.
So from here, the SDLC starts software
Okay.
development life cycle. So what exactly software development life cycle means?
Okay.
When the requirement comes to comes to our organization, then the organization, everyone, be
Mm.
a business analyst and team members, everyone becomes alert so that they can be ready to take the any type of requirement, and they can able to fill it and they can able to give to the customer. Then as every team member is alert, then from here our SDLC starts. SDLC model starts, and based on the requirement, based on the user requirement, will segregate, will follow one
Mm.
type of model. In SDLC model, we have many models. Among them, which
Mm.
model is suitable and which model is suitable to the user will follow the type of model. Previously, in the very olden days, not only very
Oh,
olden
okay.
days, when the software is
Mm.
designed, software is developed, when it is came newly to the market, at that time they used the waterfall model.
Mm.
And as of now, as
Mm.
the trend is going very fast and the deliverables are happening very soon, with the frequent changes of the
Mm.
project in the project, now we are following the Agile
Mm.
methodology. In Agile also, we have different models. We have Scrum,
Oh.
we have XP, we have Kanban. Most of the people
Mm.
are following the XP. Kanban is little bit fast, and but it is not, most of the organizations are not following as of now. But Kanban, instead of Kanban, XP is already implemented in almost all the organizations. Now, whatever the
Oh.
organization which we are seeing only the Scrum Agile model,
Mm.
that too in Scrum. That Agile model, that they are following in XP.
Oh, okay. Mm.
So this
Mm.
is what the organization, and how they will decide this SDLC model. Means this
Mm.
depends on the requirement. If the
Mm.
requirement expects that I need this requirement, I need this type of requirement to be fulfilled in 1 days.
Mm.
1 day. Assume that the requirement is very small. Just I give an
Mm.
example as Carbon Pro. So that can be done in
Mm.
consider that 1 week. Okay, 1 week, and there are some
Mm.
functionalities, some requirements which can be fulfilled in 1 day. Example, request. Just consider that customer expected only
Mm.
the requirement which should have the one form. One form should contain 4 5 fields,
Mm.
and one it should be integrated with backend, and it should be reflected in UI. So this type of requirement can
Okay.
be filled in 1 day, because database connection is nothing but downloading that too based on the requirement. If based on the customer, if the customer
Mm.
says that I don't want to pay anything, just I need the database like a freeware, and I want to use the freeware database. I want to have one form. One form should contain 4 5 fields. That's enough for me. If he says this
Mm.
requirement to us, then it can be completed and given to him
Mm.
back in 1 day, including the testing part. Because
Okay.
there are 2 3 members of the
Okay.
developers. Assume 2 3 members of the developers. One will take the UI designing part, and one will take the installation and integrating with UI backend code to the database, and
Mm.
one will write the backend
Mm.
script to deal with the UI and backend. Then it
Mm.
can be completed in 1 week. Consider that the developer effort is 5 hours. Then within 1 hour,
Mm.
we'll test it whether the functionality
Mm.
is working fine or not in the backend and in UI by giving different inputs. Then at the end of the day, we'll deliver to this customer. Okay, we have done your requirement. Similarly,
Okay.
the Urban Pro is there, then it can be completed in 1 week. Assume that it can be completed in 1 week. Then the requirement, then the development team works up to the 2-3 hours, so 2-3 days. Until the requirement is finished, then 1 or 2 days, the tester will take time to test with all the ways, positive and negative ways. Instead of saying ways, we'll call it as test cases. Positive or negative
Okay.
test cases, and
Negative
then
test cases.
yeah, negative ways is nothing but negative test cases. You will test with positive and
Mm.
negative ways, positive and negative test
Mm.
cases with the same
So
scenario.
both should come pass, then it will be right. Okay. Both should come. The result should be passed for both the test cases.
Yes, both the test cases. Then only we'll call it as that requirement is passed.
Okay.
Then he will deliver to the project. So customer that yes, we fulfill your requirement and this can be done. Similarly, it can be
Okay.
applicable for large type of projects also.
Okay.
Yeah, so in large type of projects, we'll maintain one time zone. When it comes to the SDLC model, then we'll call it as okay. We'll maintain one time zone. If we are following this Agile methodology, then we'll call it as the time zone. We'll call it as sprints. I think
Oh.
you heard about this word. The time
No.
limit, we'll call it as sprints. We'll segregate into different sprints and different time zones. Means within this time zone, the requirement should be covered. Means up to this requirement should be covered. Then we'll segregate our time zones and we'll segregate our task. And depending on the priority which is needed for the business, we'll take that type of task and we'll deliver to the a customer on frequent basis.
Okay.
So depends on the customer requirement. Now most of the customers are expecting the Agile, means a very fast delivery of the requirement. So only very fast delivery of the requirement can be done in Agile model. Most of the organizations are following the Agile model.
Oh, okay. And particularly in Agile model, they use XP or Scrum.
XP, Scrum, and Kanban. There are
Oh,
three
God.
models are available in Agile.
Agile.
Yeah, it depends on the organization. They will follow one model. But Agile,
Okay.
basically, Agile itself is a very fast deliverability, and if the requirement is changing day by day, then also we'll go with Agile model. So this is very important question. What is Agile? When we can go to Agile? What exactly the Agile? Then you have to form the sentence in this way. Agile is one of the methodology in SDLC, software development lifecycle model. And it contains many other models like XP, Scrum, Kanban, etc. And Agile model itself deals with the Agile model itself deals with the requirements, fulfill of the requirements in a fast delivery, and it accepts the frequent changes from the customers. It makes the team to work in a sprint wise. It makes the team to give the information to the customer. It allows the team to give the information to the customer on a daily basis, weekly basis, on a frequent times, on a different time zones. Either it is in daily basis, weekly basis, or monthly basis, quarterly basis, and annually basis, up to the requirement is fulfilled. And if the customer, it allows the customer, Agile model allows the team members to work flexibility with the customer. So these are the main advantages of Agile model. So you can explain like this. And what the main important points in this thing is Agile accepts the changes from customer, and Agile gives the fast delivery to the customer.
Okay.
This is very two important things which we should not forget while telling in the interview.
Okay. Okay.
And so basically software. So SDLC model I said, right? So this Agile is also comes under the iteration model. Actually, Agile the SDLC model is segregated into two parts. Here I'll use pen whether it can work or not.
So you told it has a waterfall model and also agile model.
Yes.
Hmm. So agile is the fastest delivery model.
Yes, very fast delivery model, and there is no other model which can be competitor of the model, because based on the requirement we choose the model. There is
Okay.
no pen. I'm searching for pen.
Hmm.
This tool is new to me. It takes some time. Okay. Okay. So Agile model is divided into, sorry, SDLC model is divided into two parts.
Waterfall and agile.
No. That is subcategory of the parts. I
Okay.
would say SDLC. SDLC is divided into two parts, right? One is mm, iterative model.
Hmm.
It is not displaying. Iterative model,
Hmm.
iterative or incremental, we call it as.
Hmm.
There are two names, and one is traditional model.
Hmm.
Traditional model. I have already given some notes on this. Okay. Okay, it is all. Let it be. Sequential model. Okay, so basically SDLC is divided into two categories. One is sequential model and iterative or incremental model, we'll call it as. So when the sequential model examples is waterfall model, V model, and iterative model example is spiral model, agile model. And agile has different methodologies, different submodels, XP, Kanban, and Scrum.
Okay.
Just assume this is in the form of tree structure. Then you can remember it a lot. SDLC is divided into two categories. One is sequential model and one is incremental or iterative model. Some people call it as incremental. Some people question us as iterative model. And iterative model itself is divided into many parts, many examples. That is spiral model, agile model, and a sequential model is categorized into many submodels. That is waterfall model, V model. Okay. There are
Okay.
many other models, but we need to give two examples. Okay. And so it is good to know the waterfall model. So before going in deep into the waterfall model, I'll come to this manual part. In this manual testing, we need to follow, means we need to, our role starts from the SDLC model. We are in the part of SDLC model. Okay. From SDLC model to deliverability, until deliverable of requirements to the customer, our testers will be involved in the projects.
Okay. So we are also coming under software development lifecycle model,
Yes,
because we are testers also part of this SDLC.
SDLC model. Even if we consider any type of model, in every part of model, tester is a key responsible person, because he will give the quality of the application to the customer. So in all the models, tester role is there, and from here our activity starts. So where and all will come, where our roles comes to our chosen model will come into picture when we deal in detail of the SDLCs.
Okay.
And after the SDLC model, we have one more topic of test levels. When our role starts, then we'll have different types of testings. So who will do what type of testing, and when should do what type of testing. All these topics will be covered in test levels. And next is testing types. What and all the testing types which can be there, which we need to perform to complete fund deliverability. So all those topics will be covered in test types and test design techniques. What and all the design techniques which we need to follow while writing the test cases. This is especially for us. and software test process, what and all the testing process which we need to perform, and software test document, what and all the documents which we need to perform. All these is the very important topics for us. So
Okay.
now I'll come to SDLC model. In SDLC model, as we see that sequential model, there are two types of model. One is sequential model and one is incremental or iterative model. Now we'll discuss with waterfall model.
Okay.
In waterfall model, I will give one smart. Okay. In waterfall model, there are different levels. One is there are different phases. We'll call it as requirement gathering, and analysis. And this is second.
So you also mention it as waterfall model.
Yeah.
Title you have to write it. So when I see the slides, title you write it, waterfall model.
Okay. Waterfall model, and this waterfall model comes in first part. Okay, we'll call it as this sequential.
Sequential model. Okay.
Sequential. Under the sequential model, we are saying about the waterfall model. Under this waterfall model, there are different phases. We call it as phases. When anyone questions about the sequential model, okay, can you explain about the sequential model? Then we can say that sequential model contains many submodels. Example, some of the models are waterfall model and V model. Now let me start with the waterfall model, and we have to say like this, and we need to take one pen paper from the recruiter, and we need to explain like this. Okay, waterfall model contains many phases. First phase is requirement gathering and analysis. Second phase is high level design, and third phase is low level design. Just I'm writing in short form. And fourth phase is testing. And fifth phase is maintenance and release. Sometimes the people may also call us release and maintenance. Both are same.
Okay.
Release and maintenance. This release and maintenance comes. Release is the main thing. Maintenance depends on the requirement. If the customer feels that okay, I need your support till a few years, then he will request us. Then based on their their request, how many years we need the support to this particular project, we'll maintain that project. If the customer doesn't request us, then we won't go to maintenance. But the BA analyst will give flexibility to the user that we have the maintenance team. We can maintain this project for a long time.
Okay.
If the customer feels, then they will charge for that type of period also. Then the maintenance phase will comes into the picture.
Okay.
Maintenance is optional. Remaining release is very important. Mainly, we have different types of phases. One is high level requirement gathering and analysis, low level design, high level design,
testing, and release or maintenance.
Yeah, release and maintenance. Maintenance is optional. Release is important. That's what I kept in star mark. Okay. So what exactly is the requirement gathering and analysis? As I said, now the SDLC model starts. Before SDLC model starts, we get the requirement, we get the approval from the client that, okay, I'm impressed with your working style. I would like to give my work to you. please go ahead and complete as soon as possible. Generally every customer will says like that, right? So
Yeah.
when the IT industry started, they started with this type of model, this type of sequential model. This sequential model we call it as waterfall model. Why we are calling it as sequential model means it is implemented, means the deliverability to the customer is given in a sequential way. Means see here, in this sequential model we categorize the phases. We have the different types of phases, 1 to 5 phases: requirement gathering and analysis, high level design, low level design, testing, maintenance and release. So all these phases, now after one phase after the other, after completion of one phase, then only will start the next phase, and after completion of next phase, then only will start the next phase. So like
Okay.
that, after completion of one phase, we are going to start the next phase.
Okay, so
And
that is called
this
so it is comes under a sequential
sequential,
model, means
yeah, as it is
follow the
sequentially
steps
implementing to
once the first
complete the
step
delivery.
completed. Second.
Yeah,
Okay,
to
okay.
complete the delivery to the customer, we are calling a sequential model. So waterfall model
Okay.
is also waterfall model comes under the sequential model because waterfall model contains different phases, which in all these phases can be entered. Means next phase of the first phase, next phase is entered only when the first phase is completed. So as these phases are going in a sequential way, it comes under the waterfall model. It comes under the sequential model. Okay, you are clear, right, up to?
Yeah, okay.
So here we have sequential model. So if we consider about these phases, if we are, it is very important to explain about all these phases. Okay, requirement gathering and analysis. This is very clear word. Here what
Yeah.
we got, we get the requirement from the customer, and
Yeah.
then the customer will
And we will
comes.
analyze it. What are the things we have to do? Everything we will understand detailedly about the project,
Yes,
what we have to deliver.
yeah,
So that
and
analysis will be done. Okay.
yeah, and here BA is the responsible person who will play a
System
key role
analyst
of
is the one who
understanding the
communicates. Yeah,
requirements,
who
and
communicates with the client and developers. Okay.
yeah, and he will prepare the documents,
Mm.
business
Okay.
requirement document based on the requirement. And if the customer feels I want to interact with the team, then also our team is ready to interact with the client and to gather the information with the client. Okay, but previously BA is the only person who will take the requirement from the client, and he is the mediator between the client and team, and then he will share the requirement to the team members. BA shares the requirement
Okay.
to the team members with the form of BRT, business requirement document. And next is high level phase. And high level design. High level design is the design which is understandable by the developers, dev team. So here, high level design first, when the business requirement document comes to the development team, the development team steps into the picture and they will understand the requirement, and here they will prepare the SRC document, system requirement configuration document, or there are many synonyms, system specification document, and will sometimes we'll call it as a system requirement document, many things. And here if the business analyst is very good, then he will prepare business requirement document, or sometimes he will prepare use case. So this is different and this is different. Business requirement document or use case depends on the business analyst. He may prepare business requirement or use cases, and high level in high level development. Sorry, high level development phase, the dev team will prepare the system specification documents, and this system specification document they will follow certain flow charts, certain algorithms, how this requirement should be analyzed, and they will analyze themselves, and they will prepare themselves one document. Okay, so
Okay.
on that day okay, today we'll deal with this Urban Pro example. If we take Urban Pro as one of the requirement, and then the development team will understand the requirement. Business requirement will be, means the requirement document may contains in this way. Okay, Urban Pro should contains one form in dashboard, that form should have the requirements, means should have the fields like username, password, email id, a login, and confirm password, and registered mobile number. It should have all these fields in the form, and this form should be placed in dashboard. When the user wants to register himself, he should have the sign up button and sign in button. When he clicks on sign in button, he should have the uh, two fields, username, password, confirm. He should have two fields, username, password, and login button. And when the user is completely new, if it is not authenticated, it should navigate back to uh, sign up sign up button. And when he clicks on sign up button, and then one more form should open with all these fields. There are this type of requirements. Consider this type of requirement comes to the IT industry. Then the high level development team in development phase, development team will analyze that. Okay, so we need to give the a path from login button to sign up button. If the user is not authenticated previously, then one pop-up should show that you are not authenticated. It should please go ahead and register in sign up phase, sign up button. Then we need to give the user sign up button also. When user clicks on sign up button, with the highlighted, the button should be highlighted in the whole UI. If the UI, if that button is highlighted, then the user can have the idea that he needs to click on that sign up button. And when he clicks on sign up button, one form should be open. So they will, the high development team will give one estimation, and that estimation and that in a high
So
level.
this high entity relationship, entity
Yeah.
relationship
Yeah,
diagram, we use it to
diagrammatically
represent
they will show one
these
relationship.
HLD.
Yeah, the diagrammatically
HLD.
they will show one relationship in a high level way. They estimate it, and then it comes to the low level estimation. And then that phase will be completed, and they will prepare one document. That document will call it as a system specification document, or system requirement document, or system requirement consolidated document, whatever the way we will call it as. Then we'll call it, then they will prepare one document in a high level way, and they will keep themselves. And after completion of that phase, then low level design phase comes into the picture. In this low level design phase, they will go into the requirement, in detail of the requirement of each and every requirement. And they will prepare one algorithm, and they will segregate themselves, and they will start working on themselves. As we consider the Urban Pro example, Urban Pro, as we discussed that Urban Pro should have one form. This form should have username, password, confirm password, registered mobile number, registered mail ID, and login button. All these features, each requirement, each field they will consider as one requirement, and they will see that any validations which needs to be given for that particular field. Example, the it is not fair that the mobile number field accepts more than 20 characters. It is allowing it to give the alphanumeric keys. It's allowing to give special characters. So they will consider on each field as one requirement, and each item, each developing activity as one requirement, each developing task as one requirement, and they will see all the features of the to fulfill that requirement. As as the development team is considered to give the mail ID, and then the mail ID should contains the @ symbol, because every mail ID contains the @ symbol. That after @ symbol, the domain should be come. Before @ symbol, the user flexibility name should be entered, and it should verify backend whether that same flexibility, user flexibility given entered data is available in the backend or not. If it is available, it should reflect, and it should there should be some validations given to the there should be some validations for that field, and it should reflect in UI. This user is already exist in database. This user is already exist. Please go ahead and create some more some other username. It should give such validation. So field wise or task wise, they will take one requirement, and they will implement that requirement. And finally, after completion of all the tasks, all the as per the requirement, then they will means then they will deploy it into the staging or a production environment, where they will deploy into the staging environment.
Mm.
First they will test themselves whether it is working fine or not. That testing will call it as unit testing. That will come, that the testing part comes under the testing types. So
Okay.
after completion of the
Mm.
in detail requirement, after fulfilling of in detail requirement, okay,
Mm.
fulfilling of each requirement,
Mm.
then they deploy into staging environment. Then the testing phase will comes into the picture. Then they, after completion of that, the testing phase comes, and then they will test it whether the testing is means whether the requirement meet with the requirements, whether the testing means the expected is meeting with the actual requirement. Then they will verify it, and then here the report will be given.
Mm.
And after giving the report, the testing phase is completed. Then it goes to the release phase. If the customer feels that okay, it is means my requirement is done, then he will take the requirement and will complete it with that. And if the customer feels that I need some support,
Okay.
then the maintenance picture comes into the maintenance phase comes into the picture. And in maintenance phase, our based on the organizational, they will charge for these many for these many hours of maintenance. We will have this much of charge, and this many team members is going to work like that. That maintenance fee
Okay.
completely depend on the customer requirement. This is what the sequential model, waterfall modeling, sequential, under sequential model.
Okay.
It is first model in SDLC.
Mm.
Are you clear?
Mm. Yes, yes. And you mentioned testing, unit testing is done here.
That comes into testing part. That's what I this is only the high level phase of explanation. Here we have requirement gathering analysis and high level design, low level design, testing, maintenance, and release.
Mm.
So this is only the high level
Okay.
phase.
Everything is okay.
Yeah. So the same phases can be carried forward in all the models, all the SDLC model, but in different way. In the sequential model of waterfall, they are following sequence way. After completion of requirement gathering only, the high level design will comes into picture. After completion of high level design, then only the testing phase comes into the picture. After the testing, then only maintenance and release comes into the picture. Okay. Then and for every model, there is one advantage and there is some disadvantages. The main advantage of waterfall model.
Here I can say that time is a disadvantage because you have to wait for one, because once that is completed, then you start the next thing. Here in this waterfall model, so time, I mean, it's not like simultaneous, or it's not. So it will take more time to complete the project.
Yes, and that comes under the defect. It's disadvantages. We'll list the timing.
It's not as I'm multitasking or yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Multitasking.
Yeah, if, for example, some projects, if one step is going on, they will do the other things, so they can save the time. And also resources, not wasting the resources. The team members don't want to sit without any work. They will try to do some work if it is doing multitasking everything.
Yes. This is second point. You can say this is a second disadvantage. Good, you are catching a lot. The same things listed under advantages and disadvantage. And advantages is the particular user is responsible for particular roles. And here requirement analysis and gathering phase, business analyst is the responsible person. But after that, on delivery time only, he comes into picture again. Okay, this is what the requirement which you are expected, and we are delivering it. Please go ahead and accept our requirement. So on these two phases only, business analyst comes, and if there is any any information regarding the requirement, if we need any information regarding the requirement, then we'll contact the business analyst. Then the business analyst contact the requirement, contact the end user, and clarify that requirement, and he will get back and say same thing to the high level development, same thing to our team members. That this is what the expected requirement.
Okay.
So here
So
the
this
users
is one of the sequential model.
yeah, it is sequential model. Here the
Yeah, tell me.
users are permitted for the particular model, particular role. So until as you said, until first phase is completed, next phase won't starts. So here the time waste of the time waste, yeah, time consuming is a lot, and it takes a lot of time to complete. This is second advantage. Sorry, second disadvantage, and it is not so.
And managing the resources, because
Yeah,
managing.
managing the resources is cost consuming. This is third disadvantage. And advantage is it is useful for small projects like filling a form. It doesn't need all the resources should be work on everything. Filling a form is one time activity. So if that requirement is full, then we can complete and give our requirement to these end users. So it is mainly advantage for small projects. When we say it is mainly advantage for small projects, just try to give an example that it is useful for small projects, such as if the requirement, if the small project contains only one form, that form should contain only 4 or 5 fields, and if needed, it should be integrated with backend. Then to integrate with backend and UI, we need to have one backend code. That backend code maybe we'll use any of the developing code, either Java, .NET, or anything based on the requirement. Based on that, whatever the backend code which we need to use, that also depends on the customer. If the customer is very high quality customer, he is ready to pay for that writing the code also, then we'll mostly choose the .NET. .NET is means purchasable code, commercial code. Just we need to purchase the studio Visual Studio. Then we'll write the .NET code in that, and we can deliver our project. And if the customer is not a high quality customer, then we'll choose some of the freewares such as Java, PHP, Python. These all are freewares. Then we'll choose whichever is available, which team members is available in our department, and we'll choose that and we'll go ahead. Certainly,
Okay.
most of the
Actually, this
customers.
model we can follow if the time deadlines for the project, if you is not close, and it is, if you have more time for a particular project, then we can follow this model.
Yeah, it also depends
If
on the
you
customer. If the customer says that
if the
time
project,
is not a constraint, then
constant,
we
then we can
this
follow
type
this
of phase.
model.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this phase will also decided by the high level management, because they will
Okay.
understand the requirement from the customer, and the customer says that okay, I need. If the customer says that okay, you can take a number of times, that doesn't matter. Uh, I need this type of requirement to be there in our project. Then we'll take as much of time as we can able to take. And because the IT industry charge for our basis from the client, then client needs to pay on hourly basis to the our IT industry. And when IT industry shows that this many resources are working for this particular project, they will charge for that many resources on hourly basis. So it is very painful to the customer that okay, for fulfilling this type of requirement, this much of money it requires. Okay, so now that's what most of the customers are preferring, that I need fast delivery, uh, so that I can pay the less amount. But if the customer says that okay, I'm okay with a lot of money like Ambani, then we can take a lot of time for fulfilling one small requirement, and
No,
we
if
can
there
expect
is
a lot of
no time, means how it will affect it. Actually, if you are giving less time, then you have to pay more money, because you are doing a lot of work to finish the project. If they give you more time, then time constraint is not there. So I think you can concentrate on other projects, and in the meantime, someone will do sequential model. You can follow. Once that step is, we can do that in a sequential way.
yeah.
Actually, I would say that they should not charge more for this,
No,
because there is no
actually
time
they will.
constraint.
Yeah, no, they will charge on hourly basis. We don't mind how many resources or how is going on. But IT industry charge on an hourly basis based on the working people, based on the team members. Consider that 5 team members are there for the small project. One
Mm.
business analyst is needed to analyze the requirement, and one form is needed. Consider 2 developers are working, one tester is working. So for these
Mm.
team members, even though it is 1 day effort, they will charge for this many candidates. So business analyst is certainly having
Oh.
good package. He will charge based on that, and
Mm.
team members whomever is working, they will charge based on their experience. They will consider all these factors, and they will charge to
Okay.
the.
Okay.
Okay, so it
Mm.
is completely into management activity. We no need to involve. Okay, they won't allow us to involve,
Mm.
but it is good to know
Mm.
what is going on this manager.
Because the thing is that we even you can become a CEO one day. You can't say that it's only management. It's for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Mm.
okay, and you are clear,
Mm.
right?
Here you have explained clearly the waterfall model, but once the class is over, I will again go through it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now I have
Okay.
to
Now you
half
can
an
go
hour.
to the next topic. Mm.
No, I would like to stop this. Uh,
Oh. Okay.
we'll take half an hour, and we'll try to finish as soon as possible. Okay? And anyhow, we have time
Okay.
on Saturday weekdays.
Okay.
So
Mm. So
it
when we can
is
continue tomorrow morning the same time 7:30, shall I wait or
tomorrow. Actually, we plan for day after tomorrow. Okay,
day
I'll
after
I'll
tomorrow?
message you. I'll stop this.
Uh, okay, if you want, you can tell me by today night. You tell me. Okay.